zoomed up now and this got it. Safari.
Hello, hello, hello.
Go live.
I'm waiting for my computer to let me know. Like, this is such a process. I really need a better, smoother system.
YouTube video player, empty group, 90%. Aquarius full moon, August 11th.
And I also like to be sure that my sound is not going to overlap. Okay. So, hi, it's Sarah from Divinely Welcome to this Aquarius full moon wisdom, astrology, whatever energy. I have a lot to say, and yet I don't know how to like word it all. So I'm kind of going to just let it all flow. But it really feels like we've been in, especially since the Uranus, Mars, North Node conjunction we had a couple of weeks ago. I feel like this whole I feel like there's been a massive amount of purging, definitely been some shifting, changes. I noticed like more contrast with people, like some people are just connected and some people just aren't. But let's just talk about the purging for a second. I know just from my years of doing coaching work, doing spiritual work, working on myself, working with clients, like we are no longer in a world of like scarcity. Like the energy is just shifting. Like the more I connect with the divine, the more I'm just like, there's actually like abundance and life gets to be good and life gets to be joyful and fun and all of the things. And I think that there are some of us who are really tapped into that and tuned into that, and there are some of us who are not. And I'm not the one to say who those people are and who they aren't. You know who you are. You know where your mindset is. You know that you feel like, no, life is like shit, or no, actually life is really good and life is shifting and evolving and growing. And I feel like, especially ever since the conjunction and leading up to this full moon, this was like the last, like, I know me personally, like I have been headachy, body achy, I've had teeth issues. And it feels like my body was kind of physically purging my old belief patterns, my old systems my old programming. I mean, let's just call it what it is. We're deprogramming. And this full moon feels like almost like the apex of it, but it's maybe just the beginning of it. Full moons illuminate, they bring shit out to be healed, to be cleared, to be purged, to be let go, released, all of the things. And we're kind of in this space of like, I was looking ahead at some of the astrology coming up. I just finished my astrology class with Fixed Air Moon, and I learned a lot. And I was able to like look ahead at some of the astrology coming up. And it's almost like if you take advantage of this support that we have right now with all of the planets, like coming into this full moon, we had planets like teaming up together to like what may have appeared like making life difficult, but really it was an opportunity to release and get rid of and purge out and let go of all that old crap. And the more you are tapped into that and tuned into that and able to take on some work to release some of that old energy, like the transits coming up and the astrology that's coming up this fall and into next year is going to be I don't know if I'd say easier, but like digestible. Whereas if you didn't take advantage of this, process that leading up to this full moon, and you chose to like not take on any practices to purge, release, and let go, I feel like these transits coming up this fall and into next year are going to be a hell of a lot harder. They're going to be more challenging, because the universe, the divine God, is really calling us forward into a new state of being, into a new mindset, into a new like frequency and like an evolved space that is more abundant, that is more satisfying, that's more joyful. And I personally am one who kind of does things ahead of time. I kind of have been, you know, especially since I started doing inner work. But I would say even before I knew what intuition and all this spiritual stuff was, I would say that I was experiencing it before everyone else. But I tend to process things emotionally, and then I like get it all out of my physical body. So I've always kind of tapped into this idea that there's multiple layers to what's going on. There's like the spiritual layer, there's the mental or emotional layer, and then there's like the physical layer. And but our physical bodies kind of process all of it in some way, shape, or form. And so this full moon is kind of like this moment of like, is there any turning back? Is there any, there is no turning back. Like, we're going forward. Like, the 2020s is this decade. It's like this pivotal decade for humanity to really move forward into different systems, into different structures, and like a whole different paradigm. So that being said, the invitation is to take a look around at your life and like, are you holding on to old beliefs, old patterns, old ways of being, old behaviors that are simply keeping you stuck in that old world? Like, you know, are you holding on to like the crap that's been with you since you were a kid because you're like, oh, I was raised that way? Yeah, and you're an adult now. You get to make different choices. You know, I've been back home for the last couple of months, and it's been really illuminating as far as like, you know, this is where I was raised. This is the community I was raised in, back with my family, the people I grew up with, and really just observing from a whole different perspective of like, you know, crap, no wonder I ended up with bad relationships one right after another, because, you know, there are people in my family who do talk down to me, who do devalue me, and my boundary walls are going up. Like, we ain't doing this again. I totally don't think that I am that person anymore. And I'm not going to buy into that game, and I'm not going to play it. And so y'all can think of me what you need to think of me, but that doesn't mean I have to allow that to be in my space. And we get to choose that shit. We get to choose to be that heart center for ourselves, to not participate in what others think, or like other people's opinions of us are not our business. They're not important to me. You know, and so accepting our uniqueness, accepting our weirdness, accepting who we are and who we're becoming, and being okay. Like, even if you have to walk the path alone, it's better than going back and being a part of that game, or being a part of those opinions or those thoughts of us. And so I feel like this is kind of like this pivotal moment, and we've had energies leading up to it that have brought it on. This is not just a full moon thing. This is definitely a powerful full moon to let shit go, and acknowledge that, you know, maybe you're not a part of that world anymore, or a part of how those people are towards you anymore. And so this is just a lot. There's a lot coming through. I've been dropping some reels on my Instagram. If you want to follow me there, Saradivinelyyou. I have been trying to put them on YouTube and on Facebook as well, so that I'm putting them across the board. But I've been feeling like a lot of nugget drops, a lot of nugget downloads, and really trying to put a lot through. You know, there was a lot of talk earlier this week about the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. I am not somebody who really goes by that calendar system. That calendar system never really has made sense to me. And the more I study, myself and learn about myself, the more it makes sense to me. Like, why would Christmas be in December when December is cold and I always feel like shit and it's supposed to be a happy time? I don't know. But anyway, I don't think I think the gateway, if there was one, was from the conjunction, the Mars Uranus conjunction with the North Node, because the North Node points us into the direction that we're evolving to. And Uranus being different and being like unique and weird, and Mars being an activator, like that to me was more of an opening portal, if that's what you want to call it, than whatever 8-8 was or is, or what you define it as, or whatever. I just don't follow that logic at all. And so I think we had energies moving up to this full moon to support us in releasing, and now it's like, let it go, or that it's, just let it go, be done with it, move forward. It's time to move forward into a whole new way of being and a whole new thought process, and a whole new paradigm, and all new behaviors, and really knowing who you are and trusting and being in abundance. Like, we have so much going on energetically that's allowing us to move forward in a different way. So let's pull some cards. I hope that was helpful. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of downloads about this, but it just really feels like this is a huge purge. This is a huge, be done with all that old crap. Everything outside of you is a distraction to keep you from your relationship with yourself and your relationship with God and the divine. And so take advantage of this moment in time to do some final releasing, do some final purging, and let it all out of your system so that you can allow the new stuff to come in and be a part of you. And I'm drawing from the Sacral Chakra Oracle. That felt like a really powerful deck to draw from today. And so we got body comfort. Yeah. Like I said, I have had a lot of physical purging going on as far as headaches and teeth issues. And, I don't have like, vomiting or anything like that, but, and so it's been about being comfortable and making myself comfortable, but not like medicated, right? Like I move, and I don't do any kind of over the counter anything. I use a lot of energy to move things that are uncomfortable through me, because usually to me, it's a symptom of what my emotional state is experiencing. And so body comfort to me is making yourself comfortable, acknowledging that, like, oh, does that muscle need to be stretched? Is that, telling me that I need to slow down and stretch, or maybe go get a massage? Like, not to glamorize this, but there is like a space of like really learning your body and understanding what your body's going through, and that maybe it's not just a physical ailment that needs a diagnosis, but it's something that's telling you or giving you a message from your emotional and spiritual body of what's going on or what it's experiencing. And so I'm going to pull a couple from this deck. It's feeling aligned today to do the sacral chakra. This is from the Xen Goddesses. Pretty sure they are linked below, or not linked, but at least the name is written below. I'm going to go check them out. We have a lot coming up in the fall that I think is going to be, I think I said it earlier this week. I'm like, people can take on the purging now, because if they don't, then this fall might actually be really hard to get through energetically. And so we also got the orange card, sacral chakra, color of the sacral chakra, your pleasure center. Get to have your pleasures, you get to have joy, you get to have peace, you get to be satisfied, you get to be all of the things, right? Bringing orange into your color space or your color palette, to really allow your body to experience its desires. And experience joy and happiness and whatever that looks like for you. You know, maybe it's something completely out of your comfort zone or completely out of your wheelhouse, but it's something that, you know, we are in Leo season, so it's the time of creation and really tapping into that creativity, you know, with the sun in its home sign, to really like allow that to come into your space. And let's get from the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle, one of my favorites. I like this one because I feel like it just gives you like practical ways to move the energy or use the energy. Not always the easiest deck for me to shuffle though. So this is a very powerful moment in time for all of us individually and collectively. And so really encourage you to take advantage of this full moon. We got the Witch card, and justice is coming. I think this card always makes me think of like, be comforted by the fact that if you feel like there's people in your world, or even like the people in governments or systems or structures, like this is always the reminder that like, you don't have to worry about it. You get to sit back and relax, go do you, have fun being you, because this is what's going to take care of everything that's going on out there. And it's all going to be for everyone's highest good. We all just have to trust that it's all going to be for all of our highest good. So let's pull another one from that deck. See what else we can get from the Believe in Your Own Magic. So there is a lot of abundance out there. I mean, I've experienced it even in my own little world over here. You know, I'm in a really small town now, and so things are really different for me. I've been living in cities for the better part of 30 years, and I can't believe I'm old enough to say that I've been away from home for 30 years. So there's that piece of reality. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel at 43, but I don't feel like it's been 30 years since I've lived in my hometown. I did move away when I was really young, so I was still in school when I left home. All right, we got the spaceship, and yeah, don't be afraid to sing. Yeah, use your voice. You know, we do have Venus moving into Leo, and so lots of like throat things. And so, you know, maybe it's something you do need to speak your mind. And you know, last week I found myself doing some audio journaling, video journaling, just to look at myself in the camera and hear myself and see myself say like what I don't need to tolerate, or what I don't to be a part of there, and what I'm willing to move forward into. And so don't be afraid to sing. You know, also this makes me think of, I don't know if I don't watch any TV shows, but I do see stuff on my social media, and there's this, I don't know if anybody knows this person, but Wolf Winters, from one of those singing shows, and holy shit, I can't get enough of that man's voice. So anyway, don't be afraid to sing with whatever voice you have. Sing loud and talk and say what's going through you, and move the energy through you and all of that. We'll go from one more deck and then I will call this done. I really hope that this has been helpful. Please leave me a comment. You can like and share, subscribe, all of the things. I am kind of moving through like some sort of transition, because I'm kind of trying to see how I want to move forward with videos now that I have the astrology solid, you know, coming together. I wouldn't say solid, but coming together in my you know, knowledge base. And so, you know, I do have my email below if you are interested in an astrology reading, and for me to bring to you all of my tools in my toolkit with your astrology chart. I'm happy to take a look at it and give you some insight as to, you know, how this may all be affecting you directly, or as directly as I can decipher. But so if you're interested in that, that's below. And this is from the Talking to the Trees inspiration deck from Abigail Gazda. And then let's see, we've got I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I love you. I am you. Thank you. I'm going to read that one again because I feel like that's really good. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. I love you. I am you. Thank you. We are one consciousness after all. You are never alone. Many of us are experiencing a lot of the same things. So as we move through this full moon and move forward with these energies, know that we're all in this together. Sending you a ton of love through this full moon and these upcoming energies. Never hesitate to reach out if you need support. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I love you.